It's a Wonderful Life wraps up our series on December 18th and 19th. Everyone knows George Bailey and his story of redemption. Can you give us the background on this adaptation and what people can expect from it?
Sure. Well, It's a Wonderful Life is still remains one of my favorite films of all time, and it was such a great experience to have the opportunity to do a stage version of it. It was first done as a full stage version and then readapted into a radio version. And going through that process, year after year, the company I was working with then, and every year we would kind of refine it and get it down. Usually it would be about getting cast down to a smaller size. And the idea of seeing character actors play multiple, different characters at the same time, sometimes in the same scene, having conversations with themselves, was a lot of fun to work on. And I think that was also a cool opportunity for the actors. I mean, that's one cool thing about the medium is that you're really not physically typecast, obviously, because it's all about voice. It's all about what do you sound like. And I know your versions will only be done as audio, but even when they're done on stage, it isn't like that person looks like Jimmy Stewart. Like that's usually not the case. But what I find about Wonderful Life and with all of these is that it really kind of makes you lean forward in a way that it makes you more engaged with connecting the dots of what you're hearing and what you're seeing in your mind's eye. And the theater of the imagination is just sort of a very immersive and cool experience, I think.
So you in talking about the medium and in particular like the expectations that people have having seen the film of It's a Wonderful Life, for example, and expecting to see Jimmy Stewart, obviously you've overcome lots of challenges to get these plays adapted. I'm wondering if you could talk about a time when you faced a challenge in adapting one of these plays that you weren't able to overcome, something that maybe was too reliant on the visual side of things, or something that just didn't translate into the audio realm.
With Wonderful Life, the scene where the gym floor opens up and there's a pool underneath, I just decided to not have that scene in there at all, because I felt like even in the film, it's such a surreal visual experience that, considering someone who doesn't know the film at all, and there still are people out there, or they say to me that like I've never seen this film before, and I was like, oh, well, did the audio version make sense? They're like, yes. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, the scene with the pool. So it was just finding another way to say what exactly is happening in this scene. Is there another way to have this happen in a few lines that are around it, that are in a scene before or after? But other than that, I think it's really about streamlining. I feel like with some of the projects that I've worked on since Wonderful Life, that it's about really just sort of like what is happening in the scene and how can we make this work in an audio landscape in a way that it's not reliant on visual.
So we want to thank our guest, Joe Landry, who is talking about his adaptations, which are going to be part of Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center series this year. Joe, thanks for being with us. It's been a great pleasure to get to speak with you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.